Welcome everyone. This is Hazel. She is an English Springer Spaniel. And Hazel, we call her Hazelnut because she is a nut and she's cute, but she likes to wiggle and move around and pretend that she's outside even though she's inside getting groomed. She has had her bath. We have blown out her dry. We have fluff dried. She's gotten her conditioning spray. Now we're going to start her groom. And that's why I had a harness on her. If you didn't notice that, is because she likes to sit a lot. But when I'm setting her pattern, as we're doing now, with a number 7 blade, which leaves it about 1/8 of an inch, I have to hold her up, because if she were to sit and I were to start shaving her pattern, the pattern would be in the wrong place because her body would not be lined up correctly. So try to have your dog standing if possible. Also, follow the direction of her hair. No matter what direction the hair goes in, that's the way your blade needs to be going. Usually when you're going down the sides of their body, you're on an angle. See, I'm not going straight down. If I were to go straight down, it would then leave lines in the coat. So we want to follow the direction of the hair. On a Springer Spaniel clip, you kind of go down on the front shoulder. It angles up towards the back leg and meets the tail. They also get their head shaved, the quarter of their ear shaved. You'll see that in a minute. And this is not, a perfectly statuesque dog. There she was trying to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I'm even holding her ear and her face out the way, because as you can see, she likes to flip back at me. And I don't want her to stick her face in my blade or put her ear in the way so that, oops, I accidentally cut off her ear off. I don't want that to happen. So I'm watching her like a hawk to see which way she's standing. See, she wants to give me high fives. Not yet. We'll do that later. I'll show you. Now we go around the neck, and there I'm stopping at the shoulder. When you're doing the front, it's okay if she's sitting. I mean, some dogs you just have to go with what they'll allow you to do. You can fight with them, but sometimes it's not worth it. So here I am holding her mouth closed. And I'm getting her face out the way so I don't run my clippers into something that shouldn't be cut. She can be a bit forceful, pushing against me, but just keep on putting her back where you want. That's the training. You won't teach your dog what to do if you let them run all over you. If you keep putting them back to where you want them to be, they will soon learn that, oh, she keeps moving me back to this position. Maybe I'll just stay here and then she'll leave me alone. But you can see, you're trying to follow a pattern, cut with the right blade, all while trying to not cut the dog and train the dog. So grooming is not easy. It obviously can be done. We do it all the time. I enjoy it. I have been doing this for 26 years, and it never feels like a job. I love it. I love seeing the results the same day. I mean, it's living, breathing art. And some dogs, that you just have to keep training them. They're always going to be pushy, and you just have to keep your patience and try to get through it as fast as possible. Most dogs get better. They learn. They're happy to come see you. She's just excited. I mean, it's a Springer. It's in the name. Turn her around. I love this bar at the top of my table, by the way. If you guys have a table at home or you're a groomer, those bars are so nice. You can clip them. You can tie their necks to the pole if they're really wiggly or trying to bite you. It's very helpful. You don't have to buy that expensive groomer's helper. Here we go, going down the side again, not straight down, following the hair. And if you can help it, the longer strokes you make, the less likely you are to make lines. And as always, if y'all have any questions, you want more details, please let me know. I can advise you on what to buy. Usually when I'm training a student, we do about a month of just bathing and fluff drying. because I want them to really get good at that before they go on to all these other things, because it's a lot to handle in the beginning. You know, if all you can do is bathe and dry your dog, that's great. That's a plus. Look at me. I'm having to hold her butt because she's so wiggly. And on a Springer, they get their tail shaved. If you have a Springer that has a long tail, I would not recommend shaving the tail off. Just lift up the tail and always clip her outwards. And this is one of those instances where sometimes letting them have 5 minutes of fun is fun for you, and it gives them a break so they can just relax and give her a high five. See, look, I'm training her, but she doesn't even realize it by giving me the right hand. And now when I ask for a hand, I psyched her out. I grabbed her paw. She thought we were playing. I was like, haha, back to work. And in a Springer, you brush their feathers up on their toes, those fluffy things that we call Dr. Seuss feet. You brush them up with a brush, not a comb, and then you scissor the fluffy parts off so that it meets the hair on the foot. You don't want to cut it shorter than the foot, then you'll leave lines. So here we go, brush it up, and we're just clipping the 3 spots that grow in between the toes, and then what I'm doing is cutting close around the foot. You'll see me like not close my scissors and move on. And look, I gotta grab hold of her. Because what I'm doing is I'm either hitting a nail or the side of her foot. And as I said in another video, you wanna be able to not close your scissors if you hit the wrong thing, because you don't wanna make your dog's pad bleed or cut their skin or anything like that. Here we go, cutting the feathers in the middle of the toes and around the back pad. Make your dog look like they're standing on their toes. It's so beautiful. So even if they have bad posture, we can fake it. And brushing up again. Keep brushing up until you get all of the sticky, howdy Dr. Seuss feet. And this is where we're going a quarter down the ears that I mentioned before. I'm holding my hand so that if she jerks her head away, I'm not going to go straight down the ear. I go all the way around. And don't forget that after we shave a quarter down the ears, we're going to take our scissors and trim the front and the back of those flaps up. It doesn't look finished if you just shave it. You need to trim it. Here I go, combing, combing, combing. This is why we comb during the drying, so that when we get up here, we can just comb down a couple times and round those ears off. I know I'm doing this kind of quick because she is very wiggly. So we gotta do things fast. And that's why I can't teach you to groom in one video. That's why I'm making a bunch of videos. You can put all these pieces of knowledge together. I'll try my best to hit all the points. Combing down the feathers, brushing down and out. And I'll try to fluff it up so that we pretend if they're gonna shake at home, we want them to shake and then that's what's left, so we'll trim that part up. And I'm following the legs. I'm kind of making a half moon around her butt down to the ankle. And I'm gonna make a half moon right where you see me cutting by the ankle. And now when you do their skirt, you're going down towards the front leg. See how we're kind of angling that? I'm cutting a bit off of her. We have been growing out her feathers. That's what they're called, these long hanging things, for a couple of months now. And now it's gotten so long, we need to trim some off. And see how I'm pushing the skirt hair out the way so that I can get a nice round scissoring down the front of her leg. Brushing up, doing it again. There is no limit to how many times you can brush up and scissor down. You just keep doing it until everything is in line and it looks nice. Some dogs, you know, that won't stand still, you gotta lift their foot up. And always cut less. You can always go back and cut more. But don't worry, if you do cut some extra off, it will grow back. You just might have to wait a little bit. If it's a customer's dog, try not to do that. If you do by accident, just let them know. Apologize. You know, these dogs are wiggly. I didn't mean to do that. Because if you tell them that, you know, they'll be more forgiving. They're like, oh yeah, I know my dog's wiggly. I'm so sorry. So here we go. Down the butt again. I've done one side. Now we're going to brush down and just cut those sticky outy things off that don't belong anywhere. They don't belong to the leg. You know, they're not, you want to make sure both of your legs are even. So looking at one side and then going around to the other side of the dog isn't going to help you. If you're doing the back, look at the back. If you're doing the front, look at the front. So both the front legs or both the back legs are even. And here we go, brushing that belly hair. I'm actually looking at the other side as well because I'm meeting this side up with the one I just did. That way it's even across the bottom. And also you want the chest to angle down and meet the skirt. You don't want your chest longer than the skirt because when you're looking at the dog, you'll have this long spot, you know, your leg, and then this short spot. You want it to flow through the whole dog. Later on, we can get into what's called contouring, which is making a dog look a different shape when it is not. You can kind of, you know, if your dog's a little fat, we can kind of make them look a little skinny by the way we cut, or vice versa, make them look a little fluffier in certain areas, so that maybe your dog was born a little long, we can make them look a little shorter. And now I'm just continuing, fluffing up, cutting down stuff that's not even. Look at her flipping around. High fives again. You just gotta keep going. Keep going back to what you're doing. See how my hand kind of keeps her mouth out the way? I will not, look at that tongue. It's trying to get in my scissors. Stop that, Hazel. She could put that on the other side of her mouth, but she just doesn't want to. She is such a goofball. And don't forget to have a little fun with your dogs because it's not just a haircut. You're building a relationship. You want them to have some fun while they're grooming. This is supposed to be an enjoyable process for both of you. I'll see you back here next time soon.